Hello, friends. Welcome to episode 5 of K-Pop Weekly Podcast with Emily Mallon. I'm your host. I'm so happy you came back for the 5th episode of this weekly series. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. I do this show every week. New episodes drop on Friday mornings. So be sure to subscribe, follow, and join this community of K-pop lovers. First and foremost, the show is about music. I'm here to give music reviews. I'm here to give you my thoughts and opinions on new releases, on K-pop music. But of course, I'm going to talk about everything going on in K-pop. And we have a lot to talk about. Some big news dropped today about G-Dragon. I want to talk about that. We'll get to that later. But first, I have full reviews of new music from 17, from Chanyeol, from EXO, and the ladies of Billlie. So I'm really excited to dive into these reviews. Big news, casting is complete. We've got our Stay representative, we've got our MOA representative. The first fandom face-off will be next week. I'm really excited to record this. I'm so excited to talk about our faves and build up our faves without tearing anyone down. It's about the music, it's about what they mean to you. This is going to be a fun one. So make sure you tune in next week. Let's get to the music. Let's get to why we're here. First review of the evening. It's 17. If you're not familiar with 17, this is a 13-member boy group that debuted in 2015 under Pledis. Pledis was a smaller company and they were acquired by Hybe. So now they're a subsidiary under that Hybe umbrella. 17 produces and writes a lot of their music. They are self-produced. Woozy, one of the members, he's incredible when it comes to that. This new release, it's a mini album. They gave us 8 songs and it's called 17th Heaven. I like the title, boys. The title track is called God of Music. Okay, I've got to be real. When I heard that title track, I was like, ooh, that's a bold statement. Are they going to come out and say they're like the gods of music? Is this going to be an aggressive song like God's Menu? I had no idea where this was going. So when I listened to it for the first time on Monday morning, I was shocked. It's such a like positive, bright, happy, bubbly pop song. It's not what I was expecting, but I say that in the best way. I really, really like this song. It has funky guitar, a good bass line, a little bit of a disco feel here. But those horns, if you want to like up my review, put some horns in your music. I love horns when they're placed well. And here they're placed well. I love the music in this one. In fact, they did an instrumental version. And normally like an instrumental version isn't something I'm excited about on an album. I loved this one. When it came on at the end of the album, I was like, ooh, what song is this? I love it. So, needless to say, this is all working for me. The energy is there from the get. It just pops off. It's so fun. I love this sound. I'm a big, big fan of happy, bright songs. I definitely go in extremes. I like the really dark, depressing stuff or the heavier sounding stuff. And I love really bright, happy stuff. So you'll tend to maybe see that if you're not familiar with me from my last show. I'm a woman of extremes. I like those sides. Sometimes when things are just in the middle and I can't feel any emotion, that's when I'm left a little blah. This one, it woke me up on Monday morning. This song set the tone for my week. And knock on wood, I've been having a great week. I love the bridge, that chanting part in the bridge. It's like a call to action, turn down the music, turn up the chant. The fans will eat this up live. It's so much fun. I also really like the lyrics. Like I mentioned, what is this song going to be about? And it could sound bright and happy and poppy and still be I'm the God of Music. But the opening lyric, Joshua opens it and he says, if there's a God of music, I want to give you a hug of gratitude. Yes. Oh my goodness, yes. The whole song is about gratitude towards music and music being the universal language that connects us, which, I strongly believe. I think it's the most powerful force in the world, and it's the strongest connector. Human connection is everything to me, and to connect over music, it's the reason why I'm doing this show. So this song speaks to me. I was like, yes, I'm so there with you guys. Really positive, great sound. I thought this was interesting following Super. Super was a smash. It was a massive success for these guys. And to me, that was them kind of showing, no, we can do hard too. I always look at 17 as like the theater kids of K-pop. And I think with Super, they were really showing they're so multifaceted. They can do bright, they can do cool, they do the mid tempo really well, but they can also do hard, badass, aggressive stuff. And they killed it. So I think this is a really interesting and exciting comeback because they did the opposite of what so many of us were expecting. They didn't stick in that lane because it worked well. They said, oh, by the way, we're going to do the brightest, happiest pop song possible. And you know what? We freaking need that in the world right now. Or maybe I'm speaking for myself, but yeah, this was a breath of fresh air. So I think 17 knocked it out of the park. This is great. It's a great, great, great comeback. Now I want to talk about the music video. So the concept of this music video is that music has like disappeared from the universe. There's no music. They turn on the radio, nothing comes out. The music stores are closed. There's nothing. So it starts off with Joshua on this beautiful hill, and it kind of reminded me of like The Sound of Music. The hills are alive with the sound of music. It was very cool. And he starts the song off, and all of a sudden there's butterflies behind him, and the guys pop up. Like there are four of them in all white, and it's this really bright, beautiful hillside. Everything is so lively, and so it's just so alive. I loved it. I loved it right off the bat. I thought this is so bright and fun. It definitely fits the concept of the song. There are scenes with members in different areas, presumably around the world. So you have like the countryside and the hilltops. You have like DK, he's walking around in what looks like a European city. Vernon is in a music store. Wanwoo is in a restaurant. They're all in different settings and they're singing, and kind of like the world around them is coming alive because of music. I think it's a really cool concept. And the way that they executed it, specifically the dancing objects, it's so fun to watch. You first see them, I believe, I could be wrong on this, but this is what I remember. During Vernon's part, he's in the music store and the earphones start dancing. It's so cool. It's so cool. It's really fun. It's cute, but it's fun. And again, it fits the song and the concept so well. When Wanwoo is walking through this restaurant, there's this stuff flying around him. And maybe because it's Halloween week, I thought they were ghosts for a second. No, they're napkins. The napkins are dancing. And then the utensils pop up on the plates and they're dancing. It's just a really fun concept. By the end of it, they've sent this like glittery microphone into space and, music. Now the world is together through music, and now the whole universe can be. It may sound cheesy, but it's actually really cute and well done. I liked the styling for the most part. It's bright. There's a lot of white. There's bright colors, tie-dye. The only thing, some of the outfits could be like a little nerdy with like the pants. There were a few like boot pant things that I didn't think were maybe the most flattering, but that's small. That's nitpicky. The styling worked. They all looked really handsome. The choreography, shout out to Dino because he ate that. When he comes through in the first chorus as center, the performer is here. I loved it. I thought it was so good. This choreography is perfect. It's perfect. It's fun. It's rhythmic. It's what I picture with 17 a lot of the times. It's so well done. And it's just fun. It's fun. And even though it's like a happy pop song, I didn't find that the choreography was overly cute. I thought it was fun. I think this all goes together and works. And it's a concept that works. Shout out to S. Coops. S. Coops is in the music video. Really kind of funny and cool that they made his scene a doctor's office with an x-ray. Because if you don't know, Scoops tore his ACL. So he had to get surgery. That's a long rehab. That's not going to be that much fun. He won't be able to dance on stage with the guys during this comeback. It's really similar to Chanyeol from NCT 127 in that they're the older guys. And who knows, this could be the last comeback, last full comeback with the group before military enlistment. So that's devastating for them. I was happy to see, though, that he's in the music video. He's still obviously a major part of the group because he's the leader. So that was cool. I liked his scene. I liked the scene at the end where they're like leading everyone on this beautiful bridge and there's fireworks and all these cool little objects. They're dancing. They're wearing black, kind of glittery jackets. I like this whole video. I think this video works. I think this is a great comeback for 17. 17 right now, they're on top of the world. They are so disgustingly popular. They're so popular. This album, it broke all the other album records in Korea for most pre-stock orders. I think it was at 5.4 million. Think about that. Like with today's music industry, that's insane. That's insane. They're so popular. The record before was like BTS, and then I think Stray Kids did 5.2 and 17 did 5.3. Now they're doing 5.4. So these guys are selling a lot of albums. But they're not only popular in Korea. We know how popular Stray Kids are now worldwide. So is 17. 17's been grinding since 2015. They're killing it. So congratulations. I think this comeback really, really, really works. Now I want to talk about the album because they gave us 7 songs plus an instrumental, and there's a lot of good stuff here. I have a feeling Carrots out there will be very excited. For your reference, I became a Carrot later. I don't want to say later because it wasn't yesterday, but I was a casual fan of 17. And then I watched In the Soup. And my old podcast partner and I were reviewing that and recapping it on our old show. And that's when I really became a Carrot because I loved their personalities. When you watch those reality shows like In the Soup, where it's not just tons of activities and games, where they're just hanging out, you get a real feel for who they are. And my bias changed. That was the whole thing that really got me into 17. And that was probably 2-3 years ago. Definitely a Carrot. I love these guys. So I'm a fan. I'm definitely a fan. When I say Carrots have to be happy with this comeback, that's including myself because I'm happy with it. I want to give you my album picks before I get into the rankings, talk about my favorite songs and why. Besides God of Music, Diamond Days, Monster, and Headliner. Okay, Diamond Days, I love that loop chorus. I think it's used really effectively. Again, great production here. And they're doing a lot of funk and synth. There's like a stretch in the album of 3 songs in a row where that's really the theme. I'm not mad at it. I think it works really, really well. And this song, I just liked the melody. I liked the vibe and the feel of this song. It stood out to me. Monster, can we talk about Monster, please? Okay. First of all, this is very, very smart timing. Like I mentioned, it's Halloween week. Happy Halloween, everyone. This will drop on Friday. If you're going to parties or celebrating, you're probably doing it this weekend. So I hope you're having an awesome Halloween. This album drops within a week of Halloween, give or take a day. And they have a hard rap song, but the theme is Monster. Very smart timing. I've got to say, though, the beat in the song goes so hard. And then it starts off with Vernon, and he says, "Where my goblins? Where my goblins?" Just the way he says it. Vernon did not have to go that hard on this song. I was hooked. Where my goblins? Where my Draculas? I was like, I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm ready to go to a Halloween party. I'm ready to ride or die with you, Vernon. Whatever is going on in this song, call me a goblin. I am here. Love it. He kills it. This is a subunit song. So it's 4 of the members, Mingyu, Vernon, S-Coops, and Wanwoo. They all do a great job. I loved when you get to like the chorus. So it's definitely like an I'm the Man song. But there's a part in the chorus, it's S Coops and Wanwoo, I believe, and they say, if you don't believe, come to our concert. Everyone calls me Monster. Okay. What? Okay. Ooh, really? Sounds like a challenge to me. And that is a challenge I will gladly take. I need to come to the concert. I need to see why they call you Monster. Yes, 17. I am so here for that. I don't know why, but that little phrase and lyric, I was like, 17? I've never, for the record, I've never called 17 monsters. I've never said they're monsters or specifically this member, he's a monster, he's a beast. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe these guys are. They're telling me, and I believe it. There's some conviction in those voices. So hopefully I get to see 17. I've never seen them live. And the rumor is they're amazing live. This is a group built for live performances. I always thought they were kind of the theater kids of K-pop. I want to see them live, and I want to see where they call you guys monsters. I will take you up on that challenge gladly. Fingers crossed I get tickets to see 17. I'm guessing they're going on tour next year. But that song, Monsters, is so cool. It's really well done. There's a specific part too, an S Coops rap where he's whispering, and it reminds me so much of Han when he did kind of his whisper rap in Circus. I'm talking about Han from Stray Kids. So if you guys know that specific part, there's a part in this song that sounds a little familiar, which I'm not mad at. I love that flow. This is just a good rap song. I love it. And again, smart timing. I'm going to be listening to this all weekend. My last standout song, it's Headliner. This is a fan song and very similar to last week when I reviewed T by T and Blue Spring. This one reminds me of the song you would hear at the concert and everyone's crying and singing their hearts out to each other. This one feels a little bit more dynamic and epic than a simple ballad. They have more of a rock beat and drum in there. The music is beautiful, but it's the vocal performance from the members that really gives it the weight, the emotional weight. I love this song. I love this song. I felt it. It's so heartwarming. And I love that K-pop groups do these fan songs for their fans. I can't think of that many examples in the West or in other genres where groups and artists release so many songs that are written for and dedicated to the fans and share this experience in an arena or wherever the concert is together. It's really specific and really special. So those are my standouts. I also want to give a shout out to Yawn. The lyrics on Yawn are really well done. That was one that Woozy wrote, and it's like he wrote a letter to a Sungkwan. And Carrots know this, but maybe people watching don't know. He's had a pretty tough year. Sungkwan's had a really tough year. He lost his best friend, and there's just been a lot going on with him. He took some time off to take care of himself, and I'm so happy he's back. I'm sure we all are. But the lyrics reference all of this, and it feels really personal and really it's a little bit heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. So I like that song. I will say musically it didn't stand out to me as much, but once I read the lyrics, I liked it. So that's kind of my disclaimer on when I do my rankings, why it's not higher. But I want to specifically talk about that one because I did think the lyrics were so important and beautiful and meaningful. There's that whole thing of like, these guys love each other and they watch out for each other. And when a tragedy happens in K-pop, I think it's natural that you're going to worry about your group members. And it's really heartwarming to see how these groups rally around each other. From watching so much 17 content, I truly believe they love each other. When you watch as much K-pop as I do, and not just music videos and, performances and live concerts, because that's my life, but I also watch the variety shows and game shows and appearances, and of course, all the reality shows. The reality shows are what will in my opinion, suck you in and make you feel so connected to the groups. And in watching those, if you're paying attention, you can pick up on certain dynamics in a big group. Who's friends with who doesn't seem to vibe, or who's like the caring one or the one that's always cooking for everyone. There's always these dynamics that I find really interesting. And in specific groups, I think some are closer than others. Just like at your work, you might be closer to your coworkers at this job than you were at your last job, or vice versa. There's kind of a thing where I think some groups just naturally meshed better from the get-go than others. They're all professional and get along, but some seem like they're like best friends. And I think in 17, you have a really nice unit of men that care about each other. So very cool that Woozi wrote that song. Shout out to him. And welcome back to Sungkwan. Happy you're back. Happy you're doing well. Everyone's rooting for you. And in general, I just want to say, like, I'm never upset when my favorite idol goes on hiatus. I'm never, ever upset, because I would much rather that. I would much rather say, I'm having a tough time, or I'm really sick, or I'm grieving a family member and I need a break, than to keep pushing through and have an awful consequence. Take care of yourselves. Your fans love you, and we're all going to be here. So I'm so, so happy that 17 allows their members to take care of themselves. Awesome. Welcome back. We're happy to have you. Before I get to my rankings, I want to talk about my biases. I got to tell you guys, my bias record in 17. When I first started being a casual fan, I had a different bias, just by, I don't know, looks and kind of who I thought looked great in the music videos. You know, before I really dove into them, my bias was different. And then when I watched In the Soup, it was so clear to me who my bias was. And that has not changed since I became a full-fledged carrot. My bias, it's the triple Gemini. It's the tiger. My bias is, and I think will always be, Hoshi. I'm doing that because that's what Hoshi does. He's like, thinks he's a tiger. It's so cute. I know that sounds ridiculous, but if you know, you know. And Hoshi's solos, don't think I ever forgot about Spider. Spider is the best. It's so good. Listen to it this weekend because it is Halloween weekend. Spider by Hoshi. Hoshi is so slept on in this industry. He's one of the best dancers, period. Period. All right, I have to just say this. You know, when they're doing TikTok challenges with other groups, Hoshi will eat the choreography in front of the dancer who does it for a living. So like, another group will say, Hoshi, will you come do our dance challenge? Hoshi looks like not only is it his dance challenge, but he choreographed the thing. He eats it on every single challenge, to the point that if I was an idol, I don't think I would ask Hoshi to step in with me, because he's going to expose you for not being as good as him. No shade to anyone, but you guys, Hoshi is so freaking good. This is just a born dancer. It's different. It's different when you watch him. And he's funny and sweet and amazing. I could go on because clearly he's my bias, but that's my bias. I have 2 records in this group. Vernon is a wrecker. I think he is so cool. I think he's kind of slept on for his talent. And he has a very laid back, subdued, quiet confidence about him that is so attractive. My other wrecker is the 8. The 8 is another one that while I was watching all of their content, I always liked him more and more and more. His artwork is amazing. He comes off as really emotionally intelligent. I love him. I'm so here for him. So those are that's my bias and my 2 bias records. I think in a group of 13 guys, it's okay to have 2 bias records. I'm going to say it's okay. Honestly, if you bias all 13, it's okay. There are no rules in this stuff. We're all here for fun. Those are my 17 biases. Let's get to my rankings of the 8 songs from 17th Heaven by 17, from my least favorite to my favorite. This was upon first listen, so a lot of times these lists will change. This is by no means me saying this song is horrible and this song is the best. It's my opinion based upon first listen and just based on what I vibed with. Without further ado, my number 8 song on 17th Heaven by 17 is Back to Back. My number 7 is Yawn. My number 6 is the instrumental for God of Music. I loved it. It's so good. Number 5, SOS. It was the first song. Number 4, Diamond Days. Number 3 is Headliner. My number 2 song is Monster. And my number 1 song, it was the title track. It was the right choice. I love this song, God of Music. Congratulations, 17. Awesome comeback. I'm thrilled with it. I know all the carrots out there have to be thrilled with it. And also, massive congrats to your success. 17 is killing it right now. Well deserved. Rooting for you, excited for you. Okay, let's move on. Got to keep going. I want to talk about this one. Chanyeol from EXO. If you're not familiar with him, EXO debuted in 2012. These are OGs at this point. They debuted in 2012 on SM Entertainment. They're one of my favorite groups of all time. I think they have the best vocal line in K-pop, period, end of question. Chanyeol, I always look at as like the gentle giant of the group. He's so tall, and he was cast as a rapper. And I think it's one of these things where if you had a lower tone, they made you be a rapper because he's a great singer. And you see that so much in K-pop, and it drives me effing insane because I love when those lower voices come in. I talked about it with NCT 127 that I think for them, Jaehyun is their ace because he comes in with this baritone that we rarely hear in K-pop. And it's like, ooh, what is this? It's exciting when he comes in. His voice brings such a color to that group and to the songs that a lot of K-pop groups don't have. Stop making lower voices be rappers. Stop. Cast actual rappers as rappers and cast singers as singers. You don't have to do that. You don't have to. I think that's an older formula. I'm hoping that we're getting away from it. But yeah, you don't have to do that. Let's let some lower tones in on the girl and guy side. So Chanyeol, he released a single called Good Enough. And in this one, we get to hear his beautiful voice. We get to hear the lower tones. The sound is pretty simple. This isn't a banger, crazy K-pop song. This is a more subdued song. It's a more mature song. And honestly, at this point in his life and career, this works. I love this. And I love that a lot of the EXO guys, when they do solo stuff, it's very different from the EXO sound because it gives the fans and it gives the listeners a glimpse of who they are individually. I like this. I'm never mad at them doing mature, kind of restrained, chill songs. And maybe that's just because I vibe with that sound. I don't know, but I like this. I love Suho's stuff. Dio, obviously great. Chen, obviously great. And then you don't need me to start doing a monologue about Baekhyun because I won't stop. Like, no, he is otherworldly, the most talented guy in the world. But anyways, back to Chanyeol because I love him too. So the sound is pretty simple, and when I say that, I mean instrumentation. But there is some cool stuff in the chorus. There is a nugget there that's pretty interesting and cool. So there's some texture. There's stuff happening here. What makes this song great for me is the lyrics. It's kind of this whole thing or this is what I took from it. This is good enough. Like things will be fine. Enjoy. He's saying, I'm just going to enjoy staying here for a while. And I took kind of all these lyrics as like, sometimes in life, we always are looking at what's next, the bigger goal, where you're trying to get to. And you're not enjoying the small interactions in life. You're not enjoying the small moments. It'd be like right now, if I'm recording, I'm not enjoying the process of talking to you guys and of thinking about this music I love. I'm thinking ahead to editing and what I'm going to say in the release. We do that so much. We live in the future so much. And you don't realize it until things are gone. And of course, you can say that about, things as big as grieving a loved one and you didn't know that would be your last phone call. And that's devastating. But there's smaller things. There's things when you're growing up and maturing that you realize, like, that was my last hangout with that group of friends like that. That's the last time all of us were in the same room. Or even a neighbor that you see every day because your dogs are friends and you talk to them every day. There's so many moments in life that you don't realize it's the last time. And instead of focusing on the future and what's next, it's such a nice reminder in a song like this. This is good enough. Things are going to be fine. That's all going to be fine. I'm going to enjoy being in the moment I'm in right now. And for a lot of us, that's enjoying being in chasing whatever you're chasing. Enjoy the chase. It's not all about the goal. It's that Monster X song, right? My favorite song. I can't even talk about it without crying. But the dreaming, I think it's so beautiful and heartbreaking. Don't worry, I'm not going to cry on this week's episode. But that's a heartbreaking song because it touches on that, like going for this goal and everything else. And is it getting there, or is it the dreaming that was the best part, you know? And it's kind of never enough once you get there. It's the dreaming, it's the working together towards the goal. It's the moments where you're striving so hard for your goal and you're sacrificing so much. And you'll look back on that fondly and you don't realize it at the time. I love this song because for me, it put me into that mind frame of being grateful for the small moments, not so caught up in the bigger picture and in my goals and in the future. It's hard. It's hard to live in the moment. But I love a song like this that kind of says, I'm okay. Like, this is good enough. Yeah, this is good enough. Just relaxing. And the visuals work really well in the music video too. So I like the song. This is like a very chill coffee house, maybe like chill rainy morning type of song. It's a great vibe. And it reminds me of coffee because it's warm and comforting. So check this song out. I'm a massive fan. And now I want to talk about the music video because we're 2 for 2 tonight with music videos going with the theme of the song. This music video is so a slice of life. It's him in his apartment, and he's frustrated because his lamp doesn't work, and you can tell he's kind of bored. And then his friend comes over, and his friend happens to be his bandmate, Chen. By the way, massive congratulations to Chen and his beautiful wife. They finally had their wedding ceremony 3 years later this past weekend. All the EXO members were there. Everyone looked stunning. This wedding looked out of this world gorgeous, classy, beautiful. And I'm so happy that they did it. You know, they didn't have a wedding because the fans were so mad. Yes, that's what happened. He had to enlist early to try to like quell the fans from rebelling against the whole group because he got married while he was in his 20s. I can't. And that's a rant that I don't have time for, but I personally want everyone in this world to be in love and to be happy. I root so hard for people I love to be in love and be happy. And especially for like these idols, let's get real. I want every single one of these guys that I joke, oh, I'm in love with him. I don't want him to be alone the rest of his life. Why would you want that for someone that you supposedly love? I want them to find love and to have that person that makes their life even better. That's amazing. These guys need that support. These girls need that love and support. Root for love and stop being miserable. And it's such a small percentage of fans, but unfortunately, it's the fans that they're closest to in proximity. It's the Korean fans that buy trucks and that do a black ocean when Chen still performs. You guys need to go touch grass and stop being delusional. There's no room in my world for that negative behavior. Of course, the fans were devastated and upset because he played a fan song at the wedding. And that should just be for them. How dare he play that at his wedding where he married someone else? Oh my God. Y'all, again, I'm sorry. If you don't understand what's wrong with being upset at a human being for playing one of his group songs at his wedding because you think it belongs to you, nothing that these guys do belong to any of us. We're consumers of a product. We're not, this is where the parasocial relationship thing gets Ugh. Anyway, sorry, I went into a monologue, but that bothers me to no end because I love Chen. I think he's so talented. And to see what his own fans did to him, y'all should be ashamed. Anyways, in the video, he comes in, he actually like fixes the lamp for Chanyeol, and they just hang out. It's just guys hanging out, enjoying their time. Nothing crazy happens. It's just friends hanging out in an apartment. So then he leaves, and the next person we see walk in, it's Kenzo, it's Dio. So Dio comes in, they hang out, they're just vibing. And then, and this was the moment I was like, Bake comes in. Baekhyun comes in. And I think for fans who understand this, like those two have a really tight special bond. It's kind of like Han and Lino and Stray Kids. There's something with those two besties that's different. And there's a special friendship with them. So it just felt really cool to watch them hang out because this just felt slice of life. It didn't feel like a music video. So they're like having drinks and playing Uno, joking around. It just felt really warm and nice. And there were moments when the other group members, not Chanyeol, would like look at the camera and give a line of the song. It was very effective. It was very effective. And what it kind of reminded me of, this is a group that's mostly post enlistment. Kai's in right now, and Sehun still has to go. Otherwise, everyone else is out. And that was a group of 9 members. Now, I think we're down to 8 with Lay officially leaving. The door's always open to him. These are guys in their 30s. These are guys that have been there, done that. These were the kings of K-pop. I kind of took it as like, instead of trying so hard to compete, they're really happy and at peace with where they are. And Chanyeol specifically, like, I want to stay in this moment. This is good enough for me. There's maturity and there's real relatability there for all of us as we age. I loved it. This clearly spoke to me. But it's just a good song. It's just a really nice song. It's a pleasant song. Is this revolutionary? No. But is this a good song that has a message that I think a lot of people will find relatable and kind of a warm hug? Yeah. And we got to see him hanging with his friends who happen to be 3 of the members of EXO. Great. Loved it. Congratulations to Daniel. Obviously, I'm a big fan and keep putting this stuff out. I love it. And I will always talk about it. I'm always going to promote the solo activities and the kind of one offs like this because sometimes they don't get the attention they deserve. So there you go. Let's move on. It's time to talk about a girl group. Let's hear it for the girls. It's Billlie. I don't know if you're familiar with Billlie. If you've been following me for years, you should be because I've been reviewing them for a long time. I love this group. This is a 7-member girl group. They debuted in 2021 under Mystic Story. So they're under a small label and they've done amazing stuff. They've done really cool stuff, great songs, great production, different genres. They go in and out of different stuff seamlessly. I've been a massive fan of theirs since we first reviewed them because I just thought the music was great and they're cute. They have a really nice presence. So this is just a single album, 2 songs, but the group is a little bit different right now because unfortunately 2 of the members are on hiatus for health reasons. So hopefully they come back. But it's a big blow because it's the 2, I believe the 2 oldest members, the ones that I would view as kind of de facto leaders in this group, Soohyun, and then of course Moonsua. Moonsua is the little sister of Moonbin. So she's had a tough year. I think it's great that Mystic Story is allowing her time to heal and to grieve. So many times in K-pop, you see these idols come back from a traumatic loss like in a week and they're on stage at a concert or they're filming a reality show or they're at a weekly show. And it just breaks your heart. With 17, who I just spoke about, I'll never forget Wonwoo at his first concert back after his mom passed away. Oh my God. I just thought, and I'm sure that was his choice. I think we saw it with Sungkwan. They're fine letting the members take hiatuses for however long they need. But as a fan and as an observer, my heart just broke for him. And I just wanted to tell him, like, take a year off. Go exhaled. Oof. So Mystic Story with Moonsua, they're letting her have a real break. She lost her brother and presumably her best friend. They were very close. So tough year for her. And it's hard for the group to go from 7 members to 5. There's a very different dynamic. Let's talk about the song. The title track is called Dang Hocus Pocus. Halloween theme? Let's find out. Okay, this song, there's things that work and there's things that didn't work for me. I liked the pre-chorus a lot. I felt like the pre-chorus here was building. I liked it. The melody in the chorus kind of doesn't go there. It's different, but I'm not sure in a good way. I liked the second part a lot more. But it just didn't get there for me. The chorus just didn't get there for me. The song felt a little bit slower than like a traditional pop song, but there was just something missing with the dynamics. I like the kind of lower, darker sound, and I like a mid-tempo song, but the dynamics weren't there. I give them credit for doing something different there because they always do something different, and it's worked for me every time. So you're going to try sometimes. It doesn't work out. Not the end of the world. This song didn't quite work for me. I will say I loved the bridge. I loved that switch up to a totally different melody, a totally different sound. We hear that from time to time in K-pop, and I'm a fan of it. Got to be real. Vocally, I think that worked for them a lot better. This song will probably grow on me, but as of now, it wasn't like a game changer. It didn't have kind of the impact for me as their earlier releases that I've reviewed. Let's talk about the music video because the song didn't quite work for me. The music video, I've got to say it's the same. I've got to say it's similar. It's fine. The styling is cute. It felt very fall-like, but I think that they missed an opportunity here. When you release the title track the week of Halloween, and it's called Dang Hocus Pocus, give me some witch stuff. Give me some hocus pocus. I want some sort of Halloween theme. You could have done something really fun. And for me, that was missing. It just didn't quite get there. I mean, there was that thing where they go into like another world and there's like the pink house, but it didn't feel at all like hocus pocus. And I think that's a missed opportunity because I was thinking about a specific music video when I was watching this. Like, oh, I wish this was like Zombie by Purple Kiss. That release was so slept on. It still is. It's one of my favorite Halloween K-pop songs. It's so freaking good. That music video, phenomenal. So good. They could have done something like that and maybe redeemed the song a bit. But I think it all kind of stayed a little flat, at least for me. The choreography was fine, they looked cute, but the whole thing didn't work. And it could be because of the lineup change. To go from 7 to 5 is a little weird visually for the fan. And those are 2, again, really important members. So it's hard to transition. And I don't think that's the end of the world for Billlie. I understand why they put this out. You can't sit on the sidelines too long in K-pop. You have to keep your momentum going with comebacks. And I was thinking about this as I was taking notes for my review tonight. I remember when Wonho left Monsta X. Their first comeback after he left, the dance formations and the whole feel, it was a little weird. It was like we were all collectively as fans and them as a group figuring out how to move forward without Wonho, who was their center a lot of times and a pivotal member of that group. This kind of feels the same way. And I don't think it's not a bad thing. It's not the end of the world. And the song is not horrible. It's just as someone who's a fan of the group, this didn't totally work for me. But the other song on this single, the pre-release, BYOB, Bring Your Own Best Friend, I love this song. In fact, I think I put it as one of the songs I was obsessed with on the first week of the show. I do a newsletter. Make sure you sign up and subscribe. It's kind of a companion piece to the pod. I describe my thoughts on things and all that jazz. But I list 5 songs every week. Just 5 songs that I'm obsessed with. My favorite songs of the week. They don't have to come out that week, just to let you know what I'm listening to in the K-pop K-rock, R&B, hip hop space. And I list this song the first week of the show because I love it. BYOB is so good. I like this song way better than Dang Hocus Pocus, and I wish they would have promoted it as the title track. There's a real soft, pretty texture to this song. It's a pretty pop song. And it reminds me a little bit of Cupid by 50/50, but it has a way better bass line. To me, this song is better, and it deserved way more. I also have to be honest, this music video works better for me. And this whole release, I would pick this over Dang Hocus Pocus any day of the week. The music video is cute and pretty, and it still has a little bit of a weird feeling. They do a really good job in their releases, kind of capturing different feelings. So everyone behind the scenes at Mystic Story, they're killing it for Billlie. They do really cool visuals. I just didn't happen to like one of them, but BYOB, so good. I guess my rankings of these two songs from Billie's new single album. Here are my rankings of the two songs from Billie's new single album, Side B, Memoirs of Echo Unseen. They always have like the heaviest names. Okay, number 2, Dang Hocus Pocus. Not my favorite. My number 1, it's BYOB, Bring Your Own Best Friend. Such a cute song. I love this song. Check it out. Congratulations to Billlie. It's hard to adjust and move forward and make it work. And you did a really good job. The team did a really good job. I'm excited to see what's next. And hopefully the other 2 members feel okay and can rejoin the group, but also no pressure. Take all the time you need. It's that time of year. Mama nominations are out. They came out last Wednesday at like 2 a.m. I record the show usually on Wednesdays. And of course, as I was going to bed, I was scrolling through X to catch up on K-pop news, as one does. And I was so mad that the nominations came out because I would have liked to talk about them last week. It happens. Nominations are out. One thing I think is very interesting this year in voting, Spotify has this thing where you can vote every day, but it's like the first 3 songs you listen to are automatic votes for the Fan Choice Award. Be intentional with that morning playlist because I think a lot of people may not know that. And based on if you put a Spotify K-pop playlist on, there are certain artists that are going to get a lot more votes because they're the first song. So everyone needs to be very intentional who they're listening to every morning. I don't think I have to tell you who I'm listening to. I've been pretty clear on who my favorite group is, but that's for fan choice. I believe that's just for fan choice. So you guys make sure you're careful about who you're listening to on Spotify every morning. I'm only going to go over a few of the nominees because the way this works, there's a lot of nominees for like album of the year, song of the year, artist of the year. Those will get narrowed down as you get closer. It gets announced like the top 10 or 5 or whatever. But I want to talk about some of the ones that interest me. I think all in all, I'm not upset with the Mama nominations this year. There weren't a lot that I thought got totally snubbed or a lot that I thought were the wrong choice. I will say I was surprised to not see ATs. I'm going to put that out there. They've had a massive year. Bouncy was a huge hit. ATs is not listed for anything. So that was a little weird to me. And another surprise, it seems like the feud between Mamas and SM has dissipated. If you don't know, there was a massive issue with SM artists against the Mamas and against Mnet, who puts on the award show. If you don't know what the Mamas are, they're the biggest award show in K-pop. This is the Grammys of K-pop. And I don't know. I think SM kind of had a right to withdraw their artists and say F you after what happened to EXO. That's my opinion, but it was not great how they were treated a specific year and how an award went to another group. It was very shady. And it seemed like maybe this wasn't on the up and up. And SM's kind of said, F you, we don't want to be involved anymore. And it's been this huge thing for years. So the biggest award show, you don't have a lot of like the best groups. And they'll nominate people, but it feels and those people don't win, or maybe they will, but it's not, it hasn't been entirely a representation of the best in K-pop because you have one of the major labels and their artists not involved as much. This year, it seems like they're getting a little more involved, and they have been previous years, but I feel like the rift is kind of dissipating, which is good because selfishly as a fan, then we get to see all those performances. Okay, I'm going to go over some of these nominations quickly and tell you who I think will win and who should win. Best Male Group, the nominees this year: EXO, NCT Dream, 17, Stray Kids, Tomorrow by Together, and Treasure. I love all of these groups. I'm so happy with all of these groups being nominated. So I'm not going to be mad when any group wins. Some years, you can feel a little salty as a fan. I like all these groups. I'm a fan. Of course, for me, I love Stray Kids. I think Stray Kids are the most exciting group in K-pop, period. So my inclination is to give them every single award that they're nominated for because they're those guys. They're that good. I can see this going to 17. I think 17 has a little bit more pull in Korea than Stray Kids right now. So I think 17 is going to take this. But how cool would it be if EXO took it? Oh my goodness. That would be the ultimate, how the Oscars here, the Oscars will give the award to an actor for a part and a role later that's not as good because they lost a decade ago, for a role they should have won for, right? That would be amazing if EXO wins. I don't think they will, though. I think 17 is going to win. Not mad at that, but I'm pulling for Stray Kids. Female group: Idol, aespa, IVE, La Seraphim, New Jeans, and Twice. These are such heavy hitters. There's not a bad group in that pairing either. Those are all great, great girl groups. But I've got to be real. Has any group had as big of a year as New Jeans? New Jeans, 2023 belonged to the ladies of New Jeans. I think they should get it, and I think they will. The only other groups I can see on this list that they would give it to: Idol or Twice. Twice are the older group. They're kind of the mainstays. A lot of times, mamas will give it to kind of the veteran group, the older group that's been around and it's been doing numbers for years. Obviously, if BTS was nominated for anything, they're winning. Even if what they did wasn't technically as good as something 3 years ago. That's kind of how mamas work. So the way a lot of award shows work. So I can see Twice taking this, but I think it should be New Jeans. I'm not going to read all of the nominations. They're easy for you to look up, but I was really excited to see for Best Vocal Performance Solo that Dawn was included. Dawn, I reviewed him a few weeks ago. He's so slept on. He's a solo artist that used to be in a boy group called Pentagon, and I think he's phenomenal. I'm really a big fan. So to see him get nominated for Mama, maybe he's not slept on. I think he is. But in Korea, he is not slept on. He just got nominated for Best Vocal Performance. So congratulations to him. Let's talk about the nominees for Best Dance Performance from a Male Solo. Jimin, Like Crazy. Jungkook, 7. Kai, Rover. Taeyang, Vibe. And Taeyong for Shalala. Let's get real. If we're talking about just the dance performance, nothing else, which choreography is the most memorable? Which choreography is the best or the most impactful? For me, this is pretty simple. It's Kai, it's Rover. Everyone was doing that. Every idol wanted to do that dance challenge. That was the choreography that was so impactful and meaningful. Kai should win in a landslide. I'm going to be a little salty if he doesn't. I would love to see Taeyong win, obviously, for his Shalala. That choreography is memorable, and I'm just a massive fan of his. Vibe was okay. 7's okay, but I don't think it's the best Jungkook's ever danced. And Like Crazy, I like the song, but the choreography for me wasn't as memorable. So Kai should win. I hope he wins. Let's stick with dancing and talk about male group because this category is wide open. NCT 127 for Ayo, NCT Dream for Candy, 17 Super, Stray Kids S Class, Tomorrow by Together, Sugar Rush Ride, and Zero Base One in Bloom. Congrats to Zero Base One. Congrats to the rookies for getting in there. I love that choreography. It makes sense. These are all really, really good dance performances. Some great choreography. AO stands out to me because I love NCT 127's choreos, and I think this one is deceptively hard. The footwork in this one is hard. This choreography is amazing. So if I was just watching like dance practice videos, I would probably go with NCT 127 for AO. I think they deserve it. Super was very memorable from 17. Obviously, Stray Kids S Class. I think that could be the hardest one. That's hard physical choreo. A lot is going on there, and it's phenomenal. They kill it. Sugar Rush Ride was a lot of fun. In Bloom. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. All of these are good. I think they're going to give a lot to 17. If I was voting, NCT 127 or Stray Kids should win this one. For female dance, let's do best dance performance, female group. Queen Card Idol, aespa Spicy, IVE, I Am, La Seraphim, Unforgiven, New Jeans, Ditto, and Stacy, Teddy Bear. Have you seen that choreography for Teddy Bear? It is so cute. I'm happy it got nominated. I'm telling you, the nominations were pretty good this year. That one is so memorable. Queen Card is very memorable. Queen Card, kind of that dance sticks with you. It's one of those ones when everyone says the song, you start doing the choreography in your head. New Jeans, Ditto. Their choreography is different and interesting. So I love seeing them. Idol might take this. I'm going to say Queen Card is going to win and probably should win. But wow, would Stacey be amazing? One more, and then I'm going to move on from the mamas. I will say for rap performance, Suga and J-Hope were nominated, but Namjoon wasn't. A lot of BTS fans are really mad. Jin and Namjoon were not nominated, but the other members were. I get it. But it's hard. There's a lot of people in the Korean music industry outside of those 7 individuals, and it's not a group anymore. So to nominate all 7 of them in these different categories is hard. But that's no shade to Namjoon because I think he put out a really well thought out project. I would say in that category, I don't care who the other nominees were, J-Hope to me is by far the winner, the star. Of everything the individual members of BTS have put out, to me, J-Hope is far and away my favorite. I thought his solo debut, and he was the first one to go, he came out the gate. It was so daring and brave and interesting and in-your-face rock star. And it felt like he was saying, I was playing a part as J-Hope. This is who I am. He stepped into the spotlight with that solo debut, and the music is just, he's a rock star. I'll never forget his Lollapalooza performance. That was special. That was a superstar. His song that's nominated is with J. Cole. Yes. Give it all the awards, please. But Army, I understand why you're upset. I get it. No shade to Namjoon. Let's get to best music video. Then I'm going to move on from the mamas. Your nominees for best music video: Queen Card by Idol, I Am from IVE, Flower, remember Flower from Jisoo, 7 from Jungkook, Super from 17, and S Class from Stray Kids. Okay, to me, this is another one that's pretty cut and dry. If you're talking about music videos, you're talking about the visuals, the transitions, the sets, the choreography, the styling, the performance. In this category, to me, nothing beats S Class from Stray Kids. This is a different level of production value. This should win hands down. Will it? I don't know. I don't think so. I think they're not going to hand Stray Kids everything they deserve. Stray Kids will win something at Mamas, but I don't think they're going to give them music video. I can see them giving it to Jungkook. BTS isn't nominated, so what's the closest thing? Jungkook. Or maybe 17, Jisoo. You can't count IVE out though, because they're massive in Korea. So it's anyone's game. But you heard my thoughts. There's a lot more nominees I didn't have time to go over. Make sure you check them out. Mamas are at the end of November. This is the biggest award show. This is the award show that all the groups work for and towards the whole year. This is the biggest performance of the year. This is the performance you want the world to remember you by. And there are specific performances that I always go to and reference when I'm talking about K-pop from Mamas. So I'm obviously excited. I'll be talking about it, of course. It's literally Christmas time, Thanksgiving. We have all of this stuff happening, so many comebacks. And then these award shows are going to be one after another after another. All I ask for, let's turn our microphones on. I don't want to see the same dance routine. I don't want to see the same routines that I've seen on the weekly shows this whole year. Do something special. Turn your microphones on. And for Stray Kids specifically, let's use brighter lighting on the stage. Last year, their Mama's performance was phenomenal, but it was so dark, I couldn't get the full stage picture in a way that did the amazing performance justice. My only critique, because you know they're going to kill it. This is their time. I'm very, very excited. I also quickly want to say congratulations to Stray Kids. They finished their Dome concerts this past weekend in Korea. Obviously, they were a huge success. For fans, it was the first time that we got to hear and see a few of the new songs. I've been trying so hard not to spoil it for myself because I want to go into that album fresh. So I haven't watched full clips online yet. I'm trying not to, but just the metaverse thing that they put out last week, I don't think people are ready. I don't think not only K-pop fans, but I don't think the world is ready for what Stray Kids are about to unleash. This comeback is going to be that big and that special and that career defining and game changing. I know that puts high stakes on them, but they've never let me down before. And just with that metaverse video, oh my God. Oh my goodness. Felix starting in the elevator. I was like, what is happening? This is so intense and heavy and cool. We're not ready. We're not. And we're like 2 weeks away, less than 2 weeks by the time this comes out. In any case, I will be here. I will be doing that full Stray Kids Rockstar review. I'm very excited, and I will have a guest doing that review with me. So look forward to that. But yeah, congrats to Stray Kids. Huge weekend for them. And from everything I've seen, I loved it. And I'm really excited for this comeback. Let's get to some news. The world of K-pop moves fast. I try my best to stay on top of it. Of course, I missed some stuff, but here's what happened since we spoke last. Just as I predicted last week during my review, T by T debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200. They sold 114,500 units. This is their 4th album to land in the top 5 of the Billboard 200. So they're killing it. Like T by T, they've done really consistent, great job throughout their career, and they did it again with this one. Congratulations to you guys. If you want to hear my thoughts on this new one, check out last week's episode, or you can find the specific T by T review on the YouTube channel. Back to Stray Kids, because I can never stop talking about them. Congratulations to them. They were awarded a prize from the Prime Minister of Korea. It was a commendation award for pop culture and arts. Awesome. You're doing something right when like the president just hands you medals and prizes. So congratulations to them. That's a big deal. And I'm sure they're really proud. There's some comebacks happening. Surprise, surprise. Rise is dropping something today, the day that this podcast comes out. I will make sure to review it for you next week. It's called Talk Saxy. Not sexy. Saxy, as in a saxophone. Somebody's been listening. You know I love horns. I'm ready for this one. The boys have a comeback on November 20th. I saw the boys at KCON. Big fan of those guys. Really excited for this next comeback. I liked the last comeback. I liked Lip Gloss. I'm sorry, that's a good song, and that was a good comeback. But we're getting more. ATs will never sleep. ATs will never get a rest. Those guys have worked so freaking hard the past year. And there's no stopping this train. ATs have a comeback on December 1st. In sad news, Jisoo from Blackpink and her boyfriend, the very handsome actor An Bo-hyun, they've broken up. I felt like they were going to go the distance because they waited a while to announce and to kind of go public. It seems like they were really into each other. They're a very attractive couple, but it happens. The excuse was scheduling. Busy schedules. Wish them the best. Unfortunately, I have to keep the negative news going. Hwa Rang from Tempest, he's on hiatus for shoulder surgery. I want to give him a special shout out and send some healing vibes. I have horrific shoulders. You can probably see when I'm like moving around. This one pops out quite a bit. Shoulder injuries suck. I just, I pray that you have a speedy, safe recovery. This stuff is hard. Don't go too hard at the beginning. Do your physical therapy. Good luck to him. More sad news. Sunghwa from ATEEZ is currently sitting out of activities with the group because his grandmother passed away. So sending him condolences and thoughts and prayers to him and his family. No rush in coming back. Please take all the time you need. Fans will not be upset. Biggest news story today, and I alluded to it in the intro, G-Dragon has been arrested, has been charged and booked on narcotic charges, on drug charges in Korea. If you're not familiar, obviously drug laws in every country are different. In Korea, drug laws are very, very strict. It's a massive deal to get arrested for drugs. They look at it very differently than we do. I don't want to say good or bad, that's an issue I'm not going to get into, but this is a massive deal. This isn't like if someone here got arrested for weed or even coke. Like here, it's just not looked at as a big deal. There, this will ruin his career. I'm expecting there'll be a lot of sponsorships pulled, and this is to have someone of his status get arrested for this. It's the biggest story in Korea. It's massive. I want to say, and this is just me speculating. Sometimes when I say stuff on here, I have some knowledge of it, so I'm not speculating like I'm spitting facts. This is me speculating. But I found the timing of this very curious because G-Dragon was with YG for so long. If you guys aren't familiar with G-Dragon, he's like the GOAT in K-pop in Korea. He was kind of the one that broke out individually. He had his own clothing line. He became the model and spokesperson for Chanel. He's brokered that deal for so many other idols that we see now as the face of Chanel, Celine, Versace. G-Dragon started this whole thing. And he always reminded me of like a Jay-Z figure, someone who was at the top of the game and then starts his own stuff and it just snowballs into massive success. He's known internationally. Every idol will say he's their hero. And on my last podcast, when we were doing a segment of old school reviews and we reviewed Big Bang, my partner and I were just like, yeah, this guy is the best. I mean, he's a real talent, a performer, and a superstar. So he's been with YG for a very, very long time. Very, very long time. And if you think about it, he's been with them longer than most idols stay with their company. The traditional 7-year contract, when that's up, some big groups will resign. But a lot of times they all don't resign. A couple will sign with another agency but stay with the group. For G-Dragon, he stayed with YG forever. Forever. So G-Dragon just left YG. It was just announced. I think I talked about it on the show like a couple weeks ago. And now he's arrested and charged with drug possession, using drugs. The thing that stood out to me the most when I saw this news, and this was breaking news today, so I'm sure there's probably more facts that have happened since I went on air, but like YG commented on it. They said, we have nothing to say since he's no longer a part of the company. And it just felt very like, that's a weird comment. Well, he's no longer our artist, so we have no comment. Huh. Interesting. If he was their artist, would he have been arrested and would this have happened? I don't know. But there's something here that just, I'm going to wait till all of the facts come out and all of this goes through court. And then I'm going to be real with you. Even then, I wish well for him. I wish well for him. I've seen so much stuff coming out on all the Korean sites. Evidence that G-Dragon was high on drugs. Fans noticed he acted weird at the airport a year ago. Do you want to know what he did in that specific video? He stretched. He was stretching and adjusting his hat. To them, that's fidgety drug addict behavior. In one interview, fans are talking about this interview with Elle because he was stuttering and found it hard to figure out what he wanted to say. I do that every week. And trust me, there's no drugs in my system. Shut up. Honestly, I've freaking had it with these fans. And these are shut up. Okay. If that's what you think drug addict behavior is, God bless you because you've never seen a drug addict in real life. Good for you. But to come out and make these ridiculous accusations based on nothing, based on clips of an interview where he might stutter for a second or stretching at the airport, that's ridiculous. And you should all be ashamed of yourselves. And if this person does have a drug problem, the last thing anyone with an ounce of human decency should do is tear them down and post videos trying to say, look at him being high and make fun of him. It sucks. If he's a drug addict, boy, does that suck. And my heart breaks for him. And I hope he's okay. And moving forward in all of this, I hope he's okay. That's it. It's not for any of us. The way that they condemn people. No. I'm going to stop talking about it because my blood is boiling. But all of this today, I just felt so what is really happening here? And the sad thing is, no matter what's happening, whether this is true or not, his career will be massively impacted because reputation and all of this fake shallow crap is so important. There's so much I love about K-pop and about this world, and it's why I devote my life to talking about it and writing about it. But there's a lot of cultural things that I struggle with. And that one is the most, that the way reputation is everything and the way that anyone can ruin someone's reputation. And that's it. Everyone will call the person that. Their career is ruined. And it's for stuff in our culture that we wouldn't do that for. So I always have a hard time wrapping my head around ruining someone's life who's struggling with drugs, ruining someone's life because he was dating two girls at the same time. We all know who I'm talking about there. Someone who got in a fight when they were in 5th grade deserves to be kicked out of their K-pop group and ruined. The way people look at things is so extreme and unforgiving. That's part of the culture that I have real trouble vibing with and understanding. I just wish as human beings we could show a little more compassion and show a little more grace. We'll see how this all plays out. I'm not sitting here advocating for drugs and absolving G-Dragon or anyone who's arrested of anything, but I do believe in innocent until proven guilty. And I do believe that if somebody's struggling, the last thing they need is for someone to kick them while they're down. So anyways, that news hit me and I was like, what is happening? We'll see how this plays out. I'll keep you up to date. Let you know if I hear anything and what the real story is, but yikes. Not a great week in that regard. And that brings me, okay, this week was a little bit easier because of the happy music, because Chanyeol gave me an amazing reminder to live in the moment and things are going to be okay. And this moment right here is good enough. How blessed am I? 17 reminded me that music is the most uplifting thing in the world and we're all connected. I was feeling great this week, but I've got to be real with you. Something happened between last week when I turned to the camera off and right now that is so devastating. Hyungwon announced his enlistment. He is enlisting officially into the military on November 14th. You guys. And I know it feels ridiculous to say I'm devastated because we all knew this was coming. This isn't like a big shock to the system. Like G-Dragon news, that was a shock. Male idols enlisting is what they do. And we knew Hyungwon had to enlist by the end of the year. Most of the monsters are in the military right now. Kihyun is right up there with Hyungwon for me. So I already watched him go. But for whatever reason, when I read Hyungwon's letter to his fans, I was just walking around my apartment going, no, no, no. I was so upset. I felt like someone punched me in the gut. And maybe it's because his letter was so beautifully written. He's so intelligent. You know, he's a great songwriter. But oh my God, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I want my favorite groups and my favorite idols to just be amongst us forever. The fact that they just disappear for a year and a half or 2 years. Nope. And I'm at the age in fandom where a lot of the groups that got me into K-pop are not really active because a lot of them have enlisted. You've got BTS, Monsta X. It's not fun. NCT, we know what's going to happen. I'm losing Hyungwon. Well, next year I'm going to lose Taeyong. So thank God Hyunjin will still be around for years. Like he is really getting me through my biases enlisting. So and, you know, I remind myself the silver lining, the quicker they go, the quicker they come back. But the reality is, Hyungwon, we're not going to see him till May of 2025. No. Nope. Nope. I don't accept that. That is not something I want. And I'm happy we've gotten so much content with him. I love this show he's doing where he hangs out with an idol that he wants to get to know better every week. And they do an activity. Last week, he hung out with Subin, my T by T bias. It was so perfect and it was really cute. And they had wonderful conversations. I'm happy we're getting so much content before he leaves. And he's given us so much great music. I mean, this is just me being selfish as a fan, but I'm sad. I'm not going to be able to handle the shaved head. I'm not going to be this one's not going to go well for me, you guys. I cannot. This is going to be a tough one. I will be crying on the pod. No, nope. When longtime listeners will remember this. When Baekhyun enlisted, I had a total breakdown. Like, legitimately was devastated the whole enlistment week. And I made my old partner do like a whole episode where I just talked about why I loved him. I was unhinged. I really lost it. I'm going to keep my cool here. I'm going to keep it together. But that was maybe why all this positive stuff really hit for me this week, because it was coming off the heels of that announcement. Anyways, Mom Bebe, I'm with you. I'm with you, Mom Bebe. Hyungwon has been such a staple in my whole journey of loving K-pop. In fact, my last podcast, the logo was Hyungwon. And I thought eventually we'd get in trouble and they'd make us change it, but they didn't. They didn't. And like they knew about it. So we just kept it. The logo was a picture of Hyungwon drinking iced coffee, being like bored. That was our mascot and our logo. That's how deep this is for me, you guys. Hyungwon is important. So anyways, it's been like a really dark, crazy week in a lot of aspects, but it's part of loving K-pop. And luckily there's so many great groups and great music that I will survive. We will get through this. Next week, I'll be back next week after that dramatic, depressing end to the episode. Hey guys. Next week, Taemin. I can't wait for this Taemin comeback. Taemin's one of those soloists I look forward to every single time. I love his music. Obviously, I love his dancing. He's just a powerhouse. I'll be reviewing that comeback. We've got a new song from Rise and the first ever fandom face-off on K-Pop Weekly podcast is happening. It stays versus MOAs. I cannot wait for that. This is going to be a fun one. I'm so excited. I want to, again, thank you to everyone who applied and wanted to do this. There will be more opportunities in the future, more opportunities with other groups and other fandoms, of course. But even with these fandoms, there's going to be more opportunities. So if you didn't get picked, if you didn't get cast, please, there will be opportunities in the future. No shade or disrespect. I love you all and appreciate you all so much. And I'm just so happy that anyone wants to participate in this. Like, at first I was like, this is kind of a weird idea. Let's see if this works. We'll see. You're going to see it next week. So get ready. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for sharing your home, your car, your workspace, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Thank you for making me and this show a part of your life. I love K-pop. I love music more than anything. It's what gets me out of bed. It's what keeps me going. It's the happiest thing in the world. It's also the most healing thing for me. Music is my life. Music is my life. And connecting with people through music brings me so much joy. It's hard to articulate. And y'all know I can talk. I'm reminded of the songs I reviewed earlier in the episode when it comes to gratitude, when it comes to being grateful in the moment, living in the moment, being present. I'm so grateful for this moment. I'm so grateful for our interactions. I'm so grateful to share this space with you. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to do it. Thank you for allowing me to have this show and to be a part of this world. I don't take it for granted that you're out there watching and listening. To everyone who's subscribed, who's pressed the like button, who's written a nice comment. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate the support so much. This is a labor of love and I'm doing it all on my own. So there's some bumps in the road and I'm learning and I'm growing. And I just appreciate everyone right out the gate showing me so much love and support. It gives me confidence to keep going and keep kind of growing on this journey. So thank you so much. I love you guys and I'm so happy to be here. I am setting up a Discord server this weekend. So keep an eye on social media. I'll kind of announce it, send out an invite. Let's form a community. Let's do it. Look forward to next week's episode. It's going to be a fun one. Until then, have a happy and safe Halloween. If you're going out, no drinking and driving. Let's be smart. Let's be safe. We're grown. Enjoy yourselves. Have so much fun. I can't wait to talk to you next week. Enjoy the music. The 17 comeback was good. Congratulations to Carrots. Your group is killing it. Wish you guys the best. Until next week, I love you. Thank you for being here. Bye.